Hello everybody, Heather over here with another update. Yesterday was our first chemo day. Day 1, today's day 2. I guess that's my life now, counting down days and treatments and cycles and all the things. But it went good, very smooth. I've heard from a lot of people that chemo day is actually really nice. It was very relaxing and quiet, and I got some naps. And I still feel pretty good. So we'll see how that goes over the next couple of days, but so far so good. So yesterday was chemo day, and I was glad to get started. So my tumor was very small when I found it. It was only like 2 centimeters. And now it grew slowly over all of the testings and stuff. Like, it was always a little bit bigger. So when I found it at the beginning of February, by the beginning of March, when I had my mammogram, it was 3 centimeters. By MRI the next week, it was 4 centimeters. And then by the biopsy, it was 5 centimeters. And then 2 weeks later, when I saw the oncologist at Moffitt, he measured it at 7.5. And that was a few weeks ago. So we're probably looking at 8-9 centimeters by now. And over the last week, it's gotten more sore and more swollen and more uncomfortable. So even the last couple of days, I gave up and started taking Tylenol each day because it hurt so much. Best way I can describe it, those of you that have had children might be able to relate. When your milk comes in, and it comes in a lot, and you're really, really engorged and full, and rock hard solid, like that's what my one boob feels like. The other one is normal, and that one is like engorged, rock hard. But I have no way to release the pressure. It's just that way. So it's like somebody shoved an 8-ball in my boob. But so it doesn't feel good, and my armpit is swollen. It kind of feels sort of like bruised almost underneath. It's not bruised, that's just the lymph nodes that are swollen, but that's kind of what it feels like. So I was glad to get started with treatment. But chemo was good. It's funny, some of the first questions people asked me was, did it hurt? And no, chemo doesn't hurt. So this port, I thank goodness for this port, because there were several people. So there were 7 recliner chairs in the infusion center where I go. And lots of people come there to infuse lots of different things, not just chemo. But some of them had ports and some of them didn't. And so the poor people trying to get IVs in and stuff, I was like, oh, thank goodness I have this port, because it was so easy. So I did put lidocaine cream before I left. And I guess it worked. The only way I really would know it didn't work is if I tried it without, to see what it felt like, and I'd rather not. So just one quick poke, and she was right into my port. Everything worked great. So they gave me my Keytruda first, and then I got lots of pre-meds. So I got some Pepsid and some nausea medications, and then I got a good dose of Benadryl. So Dave and I played cards for a little while, and then that Benadryl kicked in, and I was like, oh yeah, head is heavy, it's time to lay down and close my eyes. So that knocked me out a little bit. I took a little hard rest for a little bit. So, but after all that went in, I had to wait 30 minutes, and then they put the actual chemo drugs. So I had 2 chemo drugs yesterday, Taxol and then carboplatin. So got my full dose of everything yesterday. But like today, my site is a little bit sore because so when they access the port, and then it's like your IV stuff is there, right? And she puts like a Taxiderm. Is that how you say it? Taxiderm. Yeah, Taxiderm. It's just like a sticky thing over to cover. It got stuck to the glue. So my site, it looks funny because they put glue over it so that I could shower right away. I didn't have to worry about it. So it's kind of sealed with the glue, but that Taxiderm got stuck to the glue. And so when she pulled it off, some of the glue was coming off. So it's a little bit sore today, but not bad, still looks good. So yeah, so I was mostly just a little sleepy off and on yesterday. Just working through that Benadryl. I feel pretty good today, although now my sleep is all screwed up. So I was up at 2. I couldn't sleep. I was done sleeping at 2. I did take another nap at 5. And And then the question's been when to take. So they gave me nausea meds at home to take as well. And everybody says stay ahead of the nausea. Once you get into it, it's harder to get rid of it. And so I'm like debating on when to take a pill. I was gonna take one last night, but we went to bed at like 8 o'clock. So I took one this morning. I wasn't nauseous, but I'm afraid of getting nauseous. So I went ahead and took one. And I have my ginger candies with me just in case. So yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm feeling good. I feel good today. So I'm actually out and about early this morning. I have an echo this morning, and that's really the last test for a while. That echo is for my second regimen of chemo. I am having the kind that I have next can be harder on the heart, so they want to make sure you don't have any heart issues before we start, and that the heart is strong, so they don't give something that might affect the heart to a weak heart. That would be bad. So they're just going to check, make sure my heart is good, but that won't be for later stuff. So other than that, I have a follow-up next week. They haven't scheduled my next infusions, but I follow up with the doctor next Wednesday, and then I assume I will get an infusion also, but I don't know that. And then it should be weekly for the next few months. So there it is. That's where we're at. But like I said, I feel pretty good right now, so I'm hoping that lasts a little while anyway. Chemo is, from what I hear, cumulative, so it starts to build up over time. So it'll get harder later, I know that, but for now, I'll take it. So I'm gonna get in and do whatever I can do while I can, and yeah, so life goes on. My friend Erin, love you, Erin. She said to me that you have to be very conscious that you don't, that cancer is a part of life, but it's not your whole life, right? You can go on living and do life while you're treating your cancer. Like, it doesn't have to be the whole thing. It just doesn't. So, so we're gonna go ahead. And there will be, there will be times things will slow down for sure, but they don't have to stop. So that's good. So there's your update. Feeling good so far, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye for now.